Hey everybody out there, Chris here, and welcome to a week late Dark Avenger comic book review. And we're here today with comic books that were released on July 11th, 2012. You know, myself and my brother Mike.
Hey guys.
Mike has one book this week, I have a couple of books, and the good news is because my comics from the week of the 18th came, I actually got a comic that came out this week that I read, so now it's in this week's review instead of next episode's review.
And before anybody questions about what I have, this is a FX Hero Chess Live, The Amazing Spider-Man, that I reviewed on Dark Avenger Inc. And check it out, and it's really awesome. So I want to wear it just for this review.
Yes, it's going up on Dark Avenger Inc. probably tonight, maybe tomorrow, so check out Mike's review on the Spider-Man FX chess
Light.
Yeah, chess cling light on Dark Avenger Inc. But for right now, we're on Dark Avenger C86, my channel, and we are doing the weekly comic book review.
Yes.
First off, Punk Rock Jesus. It's definitely something different. It's interesting. They took Jesus' body and they basically cloned him through a baby, and the woman has the baby in the end, and basically it's the clone of Jesus, and she has a twin baby daughter. You don't want to know what the doctor does with it. It's really, they're doing this as a reality show, so the doctor's all about the publicity and the money. There's a background story about the bodyguard and how his family was killed and how he freaked out, and then years later he's this big tough guy with a gun. He's a big tough guy. And
it's not color, it's black and white. But wow, really?
The ending definitely left me going,
please.
This is a very interesting comic book. I grabbed it because the baby's name was Chris, and a lot of people told me you got to check this story out. It's really good. It's really interesting. I will definitely agree with the very interesting. Whether I agree if it's good or not will be left till a future issue. Right now, I'm intrigued enough to get issue 2, and we'll see where it goes.
So far, the way I'm looking at it,
we'll see. It's a 6-issue miniseries. If it keeps my interest, it'll stick around. If it doesn't, it won't. It's an interesting read. I am telling you guys, though, this is definitely for mature readers. It's interesting. That's it. It's just interesting.
It's just Punk Rock Jesus. Yeah.
Going into IDW, Transformers Regeneration One episode, issue 81 episode. I'm going crazy. They brought back Regeneration One. It was a old series that ended back in, I believe, the 90s with issue 80. Optimus Prime was killed. He came back to life. This is a story about the Wreckers and how Optimus Prime doesn't like it, so the Wreckers leave Cybertron and they end up on Earth, and it turns out something bad happened on Earth and Megatron is there. Artwork is really good, and Optimus is having these visions about Galvatron.
Didn't he always have
Is it
vision?
Galvatron, or I forgot what the... I don't know. But there's a lot of references to Transformers Regeneration 1 issues 75 through... I want to see, there was a reference. I want to give you guys the reference. Basically the last... Here we go. 75 and 80 about Optimus's death, and there's a couple of... an 80 here. There's a lot of references to 75 and 80, and now I know why IDW made that huge special, which was the last, I believe, 5 issues, or last 3 issues of Regeneration 1. I really should get my hands on that because I have no idea what they're talking about, and I would like to know. So I'll probably end up getting that at some point, just not at this moment. I would definitely recommend this if you're a Transformers fan. Love it. It's a really good story. I'm going to be picking this up with the other 2 Transformer books, but Regeneration 1 is its own entity, whereas More Than Meets the Eyes and Robots in Disguise is basically they're both connected, even though they're not connected. They're in the same U. This one is kind of, I don't know if it's the past or the future, but whatever it is, it's its own universe, its own entity. Really quick, also from IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Colored Classics issue 3 came out. Oh man, if this was a new comic, it would definitely be Book of the Week, but because it's not, it's past Book of the Week. Oh man, it's good to see the Turtles. I hear they're reprinting in color also the one-shots The Raphael one-shot, I believe, is coming out, or it came out and I missed it. I have to check. But I'm loving the classics.
Whoa.
The ending has Krang, his first appearance, in color. Really good. Loving it. I'm so glad IDW is reprinting these in color. I'm looking forward to the other issues. I believe, as I said, the one-shots aren't out yet. They will be coming out. I could have sworn, though, one of the one-shots came out because I was supposed to buy. I'm not sure, but everything's coming out in color, and I'm looking forward to it. Last issue from the indies. And this was a big issue, guys. This was huge. Everybody was talking about it. The Walking Dead issue 100. I got the chromium cover. I wanted to get more covers. I probably will get more covers in the future. But for right now, I'm just having this one. So, I can't spoil anything. It's definitely wow. Unfortunately, though, I thought this was the end of the story arc or the beginning of another story arc. This is dead in the middle of... I forgot what the name of the story arc is. This is the wraparound cover. So for those of you interested to see what it looks
nice.
like, here's the wraparound cover.
And shiny too.
And then on the inside, there's cover H. Now let's see. Do they say what story arc this is? No, they do not. Or I think it's Something to Fear. It's called. Well, whatever it is, it's the middle of the story, not the end or beginning of another story. Negan is the antagonist, and I cannot wait. I stopped reading Walking Dead. You guys saw my reviews. I was getting tired of it's gonna work, and it wasn't working. Well, I have a new reason to read Walking Dead now. I want to see Rick kill Negan, or somebody kill that. Somebody dies in this issue. It pisses a lot of Walking Dead people off, or it upsets a lot of Walking Dead people, but this is The Walking Dead, and apparently nobody's safe. I can't wait to see Rick kill Negan if it ever happens. The story arc, Something to Fear, goes all the way through until issue 103. The advertisement for, Walking Dead 103 is, it's the perfect jumping on point. It's a #1 without being a #1 because Robert Kirkman didn't want to restart at #1, but basically it's just as good as a #1. So from 103, basically it's going to be starting a new story. We don't know what's going to happen, but by the end of this story arc, Walking Dead's never going to be the same. So for those of you who are looking for a jumping on point, I was lost because I didn't know what was going on because it started from like issue 96, Something to Fear, and it's going to go, like I said, all the way to 103. But I'm enjoying it. I'm sticking with it. Unfortunately, 96 through 99, except for 99, are sold out. The good news is, though, my good friend Mike Spider Slayer has been doing in-depth reviews of all the books. So the good news is I went back and I watched his reviews, and I'm caught up to speed on what's going on now. And I'm definitely re-hooked on The Walking Dead. So would I say pick it up? Absolutely, but my advice is try to find at least from issue 96 to 100, because you're going to kind of be a little lost, but at the same time you can start from here. You're just not going to be happy with the character who died if you know The Walking Dead like myself and my brother through the TV, and also I have the first trade paperback and stuff.
Oh, I was just going to say, and also check out the video game of The Walking Dead, which is on the Xbox and the PC.
Oh yes, I'm doing a walkthrough of the Walking Dead video game on the Xbox, also for Dark Avengering. First episode's going up this week.
Yep.
Now we're going to get into the big two. Batman, issue 11, the end of the Night of Owls, or the Court of Owls and Night of the Owls, whatever. Anyway, 11 issues in, you know, it was a very long story arc. I was talking to Mike Spider Slayer about it, and it was a very long story arc. It got, you know, it took 11 issues to get to this point where it was Bruce versus his brother, and then in the end of the issue, it turns out that he said probably the Court of Owls brainwashed this guy, that his brother really did die, that there really was a Wayne. There was a Thomas Wayne Jr. However, he died a long time ago, and he definitely did die. And then he talks about how the world, you know, I'll always be watching Gotham and stuff like that. But it was, the whole issue was basically a fight between Bruce's brother and Bruce, and it was a really, I love Greg Capullo's artwork. I've always loved Greg Capullo's artwork. I loved it.
There's lots of action.
There's definitely a lot of action. I'm trying to find a good picture to show though. I'll show the first picture for those of you who didn't see a preview. It's really good artwork. I would highly recommend checking it out. I love Greg Capullo's artwork from all the books he's done that I've read.
Oh, absolutely.
However, this is the only Batman. I still do get Nightwing, and I think it's only Nightwing I get now. Yeah, I still get Nightwing and I get Batman. Depending on how the next story arc goes, will depend on whether I keep this last Batman. I dropped Batman and Robin. I dropped The Dark Knight a while ago. Detective Comics I dropped when it went back to $3.99, and Incorporated I dropped after issue 2. So this is the last Batman book. If the next story arc is no good, it'll be the end of the Batman book for me. I know a lot of you say it's Greg Capullo, it's Scott Snyder, it's got the Joker coming up. I'm going to read the Joker one.
I just can't believe out of all the Batmans, that one's coming out strong as we speak.
And it's $3.99 too. So much for drawing the line at $2.99. Swamp Thing issue 11, however, was really good also. Swamp Thing versus Anton Arcane. However, you know, in the beginning it's all about Anton trying to take Abby back to the Rot. In the green, Alec Holland is in his human form, even though he's healing. It turns out right before Arcane tried to kill him, the green pulled him, the avatars pulled him inside the green, and there are all these little swamp things. These are the parliament of trees are now like the parliament of little tiny midget swamp things. Basically, they're children. They're growing again now. And they send him back to save Abby. And it's Swamp Thing versus Arcane all the way. And then Arcane runs off. And we have the crossover that we've all been waiting for. This is a spoiler last page, but not really because we've all seen this coming. Animal Man. The next issue is the crossover.
I am so looking forward to seeing that. That one's going to be amazing.
There it says, in August 1st, both spectacular chapters of Brat World Prologue on sale the same day. Pick up Animal Man 12 for part 1, and then Swamp Thing issue 12 for part 2.
In just 4 short weeks.
In just 4 short weeks. So it's going to start off in... so look forward to that in August. As well as the only sad thing is, part 1 and 2 are going to come out, but then in September, everything stops. They're going to do their issue 0, so we're not going to get to see part 3 and 4 until October, which doesn't make me too happy, but...
I'm kind of wondering, are they doing issue 0 because of the year of the DC reboot that happened?
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
And finally, from DC Comics is Minutemen issue 2. Loving it. It's how the Minutemen formed and how they were all for themselves in publicity. There was something going on with children going missing, and... the publicity guy said, yeah, that's no good. We need something that's going to get us more, like, public admiration. She's like, excuse me. She leaves, but so does Night Owl, and I forget who the guy was. Does it show it in the very beginning? I believe it says in the beginning who he is. Oh, in the very beginning of the book, somebody's trying to stop Hollis from making his book. The guy that actually was did all the pulls for the Minutemen to get them popular. He's like, you know, you really should pull it because it's going to make us all look like we're evil. And he's like, it doesn't matter. I want my book published. And I don't know who the Moth Kid was, but they show up. Oh wait, I think I actually mentioned his name in... Let's see. I want to see if they're here.
Wasn't it the one that was doing the whole, the word just slipped on?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, they made a mistake, and it turns out they tried to turn it, and the people bought into it, and then it ends with a kind of like very grim kind of moment where Night Owl and the woman are going to find out the guy that's kidnapping children, and they're disappearing, and it doesn't end too bright. This is definitely a very dark book, I'll tell you that much. But then again, it is Watchmen, or before Watchmen, so I'm enjoying Minutemen. It's one of my few favorites from the, like, it's like, I would say, my first place enjoyment right now.
Yeah.
Or actually Night Owl's first place. This is a close second. Silk Spectre is okay, and Comedian's good too. So
So there's some good and some not.
Yep, and there's still Rorschach #1 coming out soon, as well as Dr. Manhattan, and I believe there's still one more that isn't out yet, but that's beside the point. Okay, we are now in Marvel. I would say definitely check this out if you're a Watchmen fan. It's its own entity, even though people aren't, or the creators of Watchmen aren't too happy about the prequel. It's okay, and the artwork's really good. The New Avengers issue 28. It's all about escaping Utopia, the Phoenix Five's Utopia. The whole book's about that, and then there's a small twist at the end. It turns out that as punishment, they didn't really escape. This is a spoiler here, guys, but really, to be honest, this is kind of, Turns out Danger is actually simulating their escape, and they're living it over and over and over again, and that's their punishment, basically. They're living, escaping, they're feeling that freedom, like, oh, we're free, and then they wake up, and it turns out it was all a simulation, and it's like that whole, oh shit, we're still prisoners kind of feel. And that's their punishment. I'll tell you, Cyclops and his team are the I'm sorry, anybody who's on the X-Men side, I really look at what they're doing to the Avengers. I'm sorry, I think the X-Men are in the wrong
Yeah,
here.
and not only that, after that whole Phoenix thing that happened, you know, that's kind of taking the cheating way out. I mean, can't you just do it in a normal state rather than taking the cheap way out? I mean, in my opinion, I think the X-Men side is taking the cheap way out, just using the Phoenix as a one-up. But that's my opinion.
But that doesn't happen in this issue. It has nothing to do with that.
No, I understand. I mean, in general, the Avengers vs.
Oh, and also, Hawkeye's okay. In the last year, Avengers vs. X-Men, he was burned to a crisp. Turns out they healed him, and he's okay in this issue. So for those people who are saying, did Hawkeye die? No, he didn't die. I knew they weren't going to kill anybody. They're not going to kill anybody on the Avengers side. I think it's all going to be on the X-Men, on Cyclops' team's side. So, looking forward to that. Uncanny X-Force, issue 27. In this issue, a member of X-Force dies, and a new member, a potential new member, rises from that death. Now, if the death is going to stick, I don't know. I believe it's going to stick, which kind of upsets me because I actually like that character. I'm not going to spoil who it is. However, I forget what they call themselves. I think they're the Brotherhood of Evil or something they were calling themselves. But beside the point, they take Kid Omega, who's really Kid Apocalypse, and basically it's Dawkins, it's the Omega people, it's Sabretooth and Mystique, it's the Blob from the Apocalypse world, and all of them are basically showing Kid Apocalypse that he's really evil, and you know, this is it's always good to be on the bad side. So basically, they're turning Kid Omega back into Kid Apocalypse, basically. Trying to find some good artwork.
Doesn't seem like villains
some good artwork.
Like seem to do that all the time.
Yeah. So in the next issue, a new member of X-Force joins X-Force, and I believe we're going to conclude this story arc. I've been loving Uncanny X-Force. There have been some up and down moments, but this is definitely really, really good. I would highly recommend checking out Uncanny X-Force. Dark Avengers 177. It's continuing. In the past, it's the Doombot versus the Thunderbolts. In the present, it's Luke Cage leading the Dark Avengers on their first mission.
I like the split page they did.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be like this, and it's all going to come to a head when the Thunderbolts come back to the present, and then it's going to be Thunderbolts versus the Dark Avengers, and obviously if they want to keep the Dark Avengers on, they're going to keep them, they're going to let them win. So really, it's not much about the Dark Avengers, it's more about the Thunderbolts in the past. It actually ends with there being a huge cliffhanger, and Mike, your favorite character in the future, or in the dark future.
What?
I'm going to spoil another last page, but then again, it's really not a huge spoiler. The Punisher in a darker future.
Wait. The Punisher in a darker future?
Well, it's the Punisher.
I see the logo, but wow.
The book's pretty good. I'm enjoying the scenes with the Thunderbolts.
Punisher's really good.
Sultan Magnus is who the Dark Avengers are going after, and this is the last page for the Dark Avengers. It's very short. The Dark Avengers scenes are very short compared to the Thunderbolts. So right now they're focusing on the Thunderbolts being stuck in the past fighting the Doombot. So that's really the bulk of the book. There are parts with the Dark Avengers, but it's yet to be like full-fledged just Dark Avengers. So I don't know why they're calling it Dark Avengers right now. They still have a ways to go, but...
So is this like the Punisher's joining the Dark Avengers?
I don't know. It's the next issue. We'll find out. He's in the last page.
I have got to know in the next issue.
Wolverine and the X-Men issue 13. In this issue, it's Gladiator versus the Phoenix 5. And throughout this entire book, it's all about Warbird. How she was raised as an assassin, what she learned, like one of her missions where she saved the kid, one of her targets instead of killing them. How she's loyal to Gladiator. How in her mind she's kind of still split. I like when she blew up Emma Frost, even though she ended up coming back.
Oh,
yeah, part of the Phoenix thing.
Man.
Part of the Phoenix thing. And I love the lip lock between her and Iceman. She's like, after all this is said and done, I'll still take you in my bed if you can pull yourself together. And once all this crazy stuff is done, I was like, oh, okay, love interest, definitely. And in the end, let's just say the Gladiator didn't come out the winner in the fight between him and the Phoenix 5. And they end up at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. Next issue, however, has Colossus and Kitty Pryde.
Without the Juggernaut suit, Colossus.
Yeah, it's definitely, he won't be Juggernaut anymore after this entire series is over, I think. It's
Thank
definitely
God
going
for
to
that.
change. It's going to change a lot. The artwork in this book, I love it. I wish this would be the artwork that stays. The art is by Nick Bradshaw. I love Nick Bradshaw's artwork. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. I wish he would stay. I wish he would stay on the Wolverine and the X-Men. I'm just really, really enjoying it a lot. I also enjoyed Warbird punching the crap out of Kid Gladiator because he's such a... Kid Gladiator is definitely something. And, yeah, the next issue is the date between Phoenix, Colossus, and Kitty Pryde, and it's definitely not going to end well.
Oh, I could tell.
I would definitely say this is the best X-Men book, in my opinion, that is out at this moment. And not only that, it's not being canceled when Marvel Now happens. So you gotta know that's a plus for Wolverine and the X-Men. So I'm really happy about that. So Wolverine and the X-Men stays, Uncanny X-Men goes. The right team got to stay around. Captain America issue 14 ends this arc with D-Man versus Captain. I was gonna say Cap and then period, but then I was gonna say Captain America. Besides the point, it's D-Man versus Cap, and the entire issue is the fight, and then just Cap doesn't look like he's actually gonna make it, and then he's saved. I'm not gonna say how, but somebody definitely does not make it out, and then the rest of the issue is the fallout and the beginning of the final story arc for Captain America, where it's Cap going after Bravo and Madam Hydra. That's going to be the last story arc for Captain America. I can't wait. This was the entire brainwashing of D-Man and to become, I believe it was Scorn. Let me see. Do they say it in the very beginning? I love books that actually have a little intro in the beginning. Scourge.
Oh.
So they brainwashed D-Man to become Scourge, and it caused huge ramifications in Cap's life, and now Cap's just done with it. Now he wants to take out Bravo and Madam Hydra once and for all. Looking forward to the final story arc of Captain America. You should be picking this up, and when it comes back, you should be picking it up then too. How many minutes do we have left?
Oh, 3 minutes and 45.
Okay guys, there's a couple of books left. I'm going to end this part a bit early, so this way we'll have enough of books for the second part. If you enjoyed this video, give it a favorite. You know the whole rundown, guys. There's a subscribe button up there. If you haven't already, definitely click it because there are going to be a lot more videos just like this one. Also, go check out Dark Avenger Inc., where there are huge things happening on there already. If you're enjoying the stuff here, guys, please hear me and go to Dark Avenger Inc. and subscribe to that channel. I consider it a personal favor because we are working our behinds off on that channel. And I know
having fun too.
Oh, we're enjoying every moment of it. This is the kind of work that we all love. But it's not just me and Mike, guys. It's me, Mike, Comic Book Mom, her husband, Rorschach's Journal. It's Mike Spider Slayer, guys. Mike and everybody has been giving 110% of themselves. We've got videos coming out almost every single day. Please go check out Dark Avenger Inc. I promise you will not be disappointed. Okay, guys, so we'll be right back with part 2, where we're going to have a lot of Spider-Man books. So see you guys real soon in the next part.